Madam General Evaluator, my fellow Toastmasters, most welcome guests, and of course, Karen. Thank you for a wonderful speech this evening. I want to talk about, of course, some things that I think you did well, some things that I think could just use a little bit of improvement, one recommendation, and then, of course, I'll use our sandwich method and give you a little bit more kudos and praise. So one of the things that I want to give you praise on, Karen, is right out of the gate, you set up the camera in a really effective way where we saw your kind of your upper body, so basically from your waist up. So we got that perfect balance of being able to see most of your face, your facial expressions, including your dirty Harry, which I loved. But also you were far enough away from the camera that we could see your hand gestures and a bit more of your body itself. And so I have a hard time finding that balance of what that camera angle and distance is. You nailed it. So I think that was a really great start to your speech. Then another thing that you did well is you gave us a clear structure, that you wanted to talk about how mentoring's about, you know, that you've learned that you don't know everything, but that you do know some things. And then you wanted to tell us why mentoring was important. And I think you gave us some really good examples of things that you didn't know, but the things that you did know. And the examples included, well, I have connections and I have recommendations on it. I may not know the skill, but my expertise is knowing who to recommend you to. Or my expertise is maybe not knowing the things, but giving you space to grow and learn yourself. So I love that kind of back and forth of, I don't know everything, but I know some things, and that balance there. And you gave us some good examples of that. I would have loved some more specific examples of why we should be a mentor. Really sell it, right? Like you said a couple times that you were surprised by your mentee, and I'd love just maybe one pithy example of that, of a privacy issue with that, that you wouldn't want to maybe out your mentee in this forum, but I think you could ask them beforehand and say, hey, I was really struck by this experience that we had together. Can I share it to the group? Because I think it would have given it a lot more power. So that's my one just small tweak. And I suspect that you might have had that, but you kind of stalled. So my one recommendation for you, and I know you know what I'm going to say, is if it falls apart and you don't remember what you're going to say, don't tell us. We probably didn't know that you lost your space. Franny will back me up as somebody who did drama at a very early age. One of the first things they tell you in acting is don't say you forgot your line because the audience doesn't know. Just keep moving. And that's tough when you feel like you've lost your rhythm. And I've been there where you're like, oh, what was that? I totally lost it, right? So I appreciated your humility and your kind of humor about it. Um, I think you could have just let it be though. So I think you handled it well. But I think, you know, we know you, we know that you're awesome, and you could have just taken a moment. One thing that I've been trying to practice, and I'm not sure about its effectiveness, but as I teach more in this format, when I'm pausing, I do this. So it's not just that my mouth's closed, because sometimes with the camera skip, it can kind of be misleading on whether I've taken a pause or not. So I'm trying to signal that I actually have stopped talking and it's not just a camera glitch. I don't know if that gesture works, but it might be something you look at. But overall, I want to say I think you did a terrific job. I especially loved your quotes. They made your speech very relatable. Dirty Harry and Clint Eastwood was, you know, funny and upbeat. And then that quote from your boss, oh, you don't know what you're doing, but you'll know next month. I think many of us have had that experience, and it really humanized and got our attention right away. We're like, yeah, I've had that experience. So thank you so much, Karen, for another wonderful